Good morning, I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations, small businesses, and nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they are here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some best friends today. So where does homelessness end, and where do lives get restored? I've asked this question before, but it starts with treating people with love, dignity, and respect. It continues by providing basic needs such as shelter, food, and clothing, and also providing addiction recovery, employment, and housing programs to those experiencing homelessness. Who would do such a thing? My goodness. Who would be partnering with over 30 organizations to provide even more services to individuals and families in need? Who is reaching out to the community to offer help to those on the brink of homelessness? Who would provide all these services and work together holistically to bring an end to homelessness in these lives? Who, I ask you? Well, I'll tell you. It's our friends at the Gospel Rescue Mission. Yes, they're back, and specifically she's back. Because today I'm fortunate enough to be speaking with Lisa Chastain, CEO of the Gospel Rescue Mission. Lisa, welcome back to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you, Frank. It's so great to be here. No one does an intro like that. Let me tell you, I need to take you with me.
I cut and copied it off your website, so it's not like I'm a genius. But it's easy to talk about you because I love talking to you. I've learned a lot from you since I started Lifestyle Tucson. And when this airs, I believe I figured out the math. This might be episode 99 of Lifestyle Tucson.
Congratulations.
For me. It feels,
great job.
It feels really good. And again, you are one of the pinnacle guests that I speak to. I get a lot out of our conversations. And I feel like if you listen to all the Gospel Rescue Missions episodes with me and you, this is our 6th time together. We do it 3 times a year, celebrating all these great things you do around the holidays, especially when we're talking about the Center of Opportunity. In our last episode, we were celebrating, I believe, the 5th anniversary of the Center of Opportunity. Look at that with the Center of Opportunity and what's happened already, the 5 years that you've been changing lives here in Tucson and helping out a lot of our homeless people, homeless veterans too, probably as well,
Absolutely.
And anyone experiencing the verge of homelessness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important that you're here. You've helped me get a better understanding for homelessness, and I talk about it with these other organizations. I really just want to thank you for making your way in today, because we took a little extra effort to get this episode in so that we could hang out. So thanks for being here. And let's talk about what you're up to. And real quick, why don't you give me a quick 101, just like we always do, of what the Gospel Rescue Mission is all about and the Center of Opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah. So Gospel Rescue Mission has been serving the homeless in Tucson for 71 years. So back in 1953, a yardmaster from Southern Pacific Railroad had compassion for those riding the rails. And that compassion grew to start the mission. That railroad worker was my grandfather.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a privilege to carry on the good work that he has started so many years ago. The face of homelessness has certainly changed over those 71 years, where primarily, 80% of the people we see that are homeless are due to addiction and mental health. So 5 years ago, we met an organization, the H.S. Lopez Family Foundation, and wanted to buy an old hotel. And the Holiday Inn Holidome on South Palo Verde was for sale. And he bought it and wanted Gospel Rescue Mission to come in there. And we were looking for a larger facility anyway, wanted to come in there we call ourselves now the managing partner of the Center of Opportunity. So at the Center of Opportunity, we have 50 partners actually coming together.
Have to update all my numbers because I copied and pasted this one again.
Right, the website's a little lacking, I guess.
It happens with the other organizations. I actually love doing this with folks because I'll be like, oh, you've raised $60 million. Actually, we're up to $72 million. I'm like, oh, wow. So you can update me on some of these numbers as we go through it because I'm sure you're constantly doing it. The numbers, the tallies keep going up.
Yeah, and we're all about collaboration. You said how disjointed maybe some of the nonprofits are. Well, we feel like we're a nucleus of its own. So we're partnering together with all those great organizations that have a service that provides a life change for those that are experiencing homelessness. We call it taking people from homeless to wholeness. And there's a lot in between there, right? And Gospel Rescue Mission has a very narrow scope, but there's great organizations in town that are doing, the medical and dental and the lawyer services and the job training and all of those partners that we come together with. And together we work together to bring holistic healing to the individuals that we serve.
It's a big deal. Again, you're changing a lot of lives. I actually got to go down there and check out the Center of Opportunity just a little bit, walk around and see a little bit of it. And I was so impressed. And so it's different than what I would have thought, even speaking to you several times.
Right.
You go down there and it's like, yeah, this is the Holodome. This is gorgeous. Like, this is something special. So it's really impressive what you've been able to do, what you continue to do, as homelessness still does seem to be on the rise, unfortunately. Yes. And we're trying to come up with new solutions and talk to all these different folks. So that's what you got to do, is partner up. And Tucson, like I say, it's the baby bear's porridge when it comes to networking. It's just right. And getting everybody together, understand that we're all having the same mission. So I'm going to tell you something. I was talking to someone else and saying, this person from Gospel Rescue Mission. And they threw some shade your way because they did not understand what you're all about.
Right.
Much like when we first spoke, I said, does someone have to give themselves entirely up to God, essentially, to get help from you? No. Yeah. They do not. That's not the rule or the law of the land for helping someone there. And I said, if you had listened or done a little research, you would know that that's not true. And they tried to double down. I'm like, I interview Lisa. That is not true. In fact, that is always something that I talk about because I know a lot of people, including myself when we first met, have a preconceived notion on what it is. Right. And some people do struggle with their religion or their relationship with religion or their non-relationship with religion. Coming out negatively is not the way to do it because a lot of people really have a weird relationship with religion that can make them anti other religious people. Right. There's nothing wrong with someone having religion. I have had friends later on in life that have found religion. I went to Catholic school growing up, have my relationship with religion, however it is, and it ebbs and flows, but I've had other people that have found it or found what it is, make it have meaning and give it new meaning to me again. Yeah. And you see the importance of these success stories that are on your website. When it is, someone says, God gave me strength. Faith can give you strength in a world where you don't have anything. Faith is strong. How could anyone have a problem with someone? I don't care what it is. I don't care if they believe in the spaghetti monster people talk about, that joke, right? If that's what it is that gets them through the day and helps them, isn't that what's important?
Yes.
Yes, it really is. So you shouldn't hate your religious neighbors and your religious friends. They are the ones volunteering and stepping up while you're complaining and doing a lot of nothing.
Well said.
I can see it. And naysayers aren't helping anyone.
Absolutely not, and you bring up an excellent point, and it's something that we have conversations with a lot. Gospel's in our name, so it's hard to get away from it, right? Well, we are a faith-based organization, absolutely, but our doors are open to everybody. And it is a misconception, and thank you for addressing that because it's something that I have to address with people a lot. Surprisingly enough, the old days of Bible thumping and, you got to hear the message of Jesus before we're going to give you a meal. Those days are gone, I'm sorry if other people are doing it. I don't hear of anybody that's doing it that way anymore. But yeah, our doors are open to everybody. Yes, there's faith services there's chapel services, and it's all optional.
Right.
People can opt in, and like you said, that might be the very thing that they cling to that helps them, give them strength during their trying to overcome their addictions. But it's certainly optional for people. We've had Muslims and Jews and all kinds of people and all kinds of faith go through our program. And, I had this one wonderful woman stand up. I was giving a presentation, and this was not even what she was supposed to talk about. And somebody in the audience said, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and let's talk about religion. What is that? Do gospel's in your name and this and that? And what does that mean? So I basically shared what I'm sharing with you here, and then it got for her turn to stand up and speak. And she was only talking about job training. And she goes, I just want to, if I could address the religion thing really quick, if you'd allow me to. And I didn't know which way it was going to go, And she stood up, and she was a Native American. And she goes, I have my own faith. And she goes, I have never felt pressured ever since I've been here, and she'd been there for 4 months, I've never felt pressured to do any other religion other than what is important to me. And I was so thankful for that. People don't hear that enough from our guests, but it is the heart and soul of what we do, that is available to them if they're so seeking. If not, hey, we're going to serve you exactly like we serve everybody else. So really what we're after is that healing and that hope, getting in touch with yourself and healing in a way of mind, body, and spirit, whatever that means for you. And let's join arms and see you successful in your life.
Oh, she's so beautiful. I can't even stand it, right? You're amazing, right? That's the thing. Like, this is, listen to you. And I go, and this is why I love this show. I can win an award. I'm going to do it based on talking to you. Because that's the point. Like, isn't that so nice to hear? The open arms and the loving heart. I really, again, appreciate what you do. The work you're doing, it is work. It's hard work.
Yeah.
So thank you so much again. And thank you for, again, helping me feel moved all the time. And by the way, hospitals have churches in them too.
Right.
And when I was helping a friend out and they were in a hospital, who took a pause in front of that door to just give a nod and be like, hey, you need something when you feel just desperate and want help and want a miracle or want something. You want help for a friend.
When something's beyond yourself, right?
Yes. So that's really what it is. And the thing that you just said there also leads to an excellent segue because you're just so thankful. So let's talk about what we're doing this Wednesday because it's Thanksgiving at the Gospel Rescue Mission Center of Opportunity. What are we doing? It's Thanksgiving Blessings to Go. Tell me all about it.
So we're excited. This is our 36th year, if you can even believe that, in doing a street banquet in a sense, and that's taken on many different looks. But this year is important. We see them on the streets. We know groceries are expensive. It's important to help our neighbors. So we're planning on serving 3,000 meals on Wednesday. And from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And come one, come all. If you find yourself in a time of need, if you have no place to go on Thanksgiving, we're offering you that. So come down to the Center of Opportunity, 4550 South Palo Verde Road, where you can find not only meals, but we're having additional services, haircuts, showers. We're giving away clothing. We're giving away pet food. We're giving away non-perishable food items. There's going to be fun for the kids. We have all kinds of jumping castles and fun, snow cones and popcorn. There's going to be live music. So it's really a festival-like environment with a Thanksgiving feast available for you to eat as well.
That's incredible. I mean, again, just sounds like a fun festival having nothing to do with helping anybody. It sounds like just a great community event that anybody should want to attend, and you get Thanksgiving. The funny thing is that it's 4 hours, and that's almost 1,000 meals an hour.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Right?
It's incredible. Because we've been doing it so long, I like to say it's a well-oiled machine, but there's always glitches. As anybody who's done an event, you know that. But our staff and the volunteers and the kitchen staff is just so dedicated. They've been preparing for 2 weeks now. And as far as the kitchen meals go, and we'll give out meals to go as well as dine with us. Mm-hmm. So we started giving meals to go during COVID. And it's convenient for people. We understand that not everybody has the time to sit down and join us for an hour or whatever the time frame is. So we're accommodating both parties, where you can swing through the drive-through, get meals that are ready to heat, or join us for a sit-down hot meal.
It's a huge thing. You can invite people down there because, again, one of my favorite things on the website, what can people print out so they can give it to people so people can find the center of opportunity?
So we offer invitation cards. If you see somebody in the street corner or somebody that has a need, it's our invitation for them to join us. It gives a list of services. It gives our address so they know where to go to get real help. Right. And a lot of our guests and volunteers and donors, they'll wrap it in a nice package with a water bottle and chapstick or whatever, a hat and gloves, whatever the time of year is, and drop those cards in there.
Yeah, because it does a lot, and doing that is something that you like seeing when the car in front of you is giving a bottle of water to somebody. You like seeing when someone's helping out. And again, it's not just about giving that dollar to someone in the street.
Right.
It's about giving them maybe a path to success by giving them direction, because these people are looking for something. So maybe you're the guardian angel that shows up, drives up out of nowhere and says, hey, have you heard of this place? Yeah. And maybe that's the thing that motivates them. He's like, that's the third time I heard of this place this week.
I better go check it out.
That's how people work.
Yeah.
They really do. And remember, we're on the radio. A bunch of homeless folks aren't listening to us in the car. It is up to you to help spread the message and help some folks out in your community, in your neighborhood. I even worked downtown for a while. You would have relationships with some of our homeless folks. They're not strangers. They are in the community, and we would have friendships with them as a waiter downtown, bartender. You see the same familiar faces that you can actually talk to and hang out with a little bit because you're not afraid of them.
Everybody has a story.
Everybody does. And also everybody needs a chance. A lot of people need a chance. A lot of people need a step up or a helping hand, and not just that $1 hand out. That's the idea. So that brings me to this thing. I've brought this up several times. If I can bring up Batman yet again when we talk, all right, I'm going to do it right now. And I'm going to show you a video that I talked about when I was growing up. I saw this episode of Batman, the animated series, and I remember like crying because it's this moment where Batman's having a dream as Bruce Wayne, and he goes to the rescue mission, and he's trying to help people. Like by giving $1. So I'm going to show you this clip that I've talked about before, and then we'll get back to talking. Like, isn't that art? There's no dialogue. It's just Bruce Wayne gives $1 to someone, and then another person shows up, and another person, and another person, and another, and he's just overwhelmed by the hands grab, and he doesn't have, even Bruce Wayne doesn't have enough cash to give out, and then just somberly dips his head, and it fades to black, but you see a tear. And that's Batman.
Is great.
I saw that at 10 years old. And that is what helps a young man be moved to like want to help people. And I happened to catch it as an adult. I recorded that. I was just watching Batman again. He's just a man trying to help the community. That's Batman. That's what it used to be. He's out there doing his best to help the city. And that's helping the homelessness in the city and helping the crimes-ridden city that took his family. That's what's so important is these messages that get to kids to help them feel something, to understand why they need to help people.
Right.
And rewatching that just a year ago, it's funny because it was a year ago that I brought it up because I realized it was last November. And as a 40-year-old, cried again, probably cried harder, and couldn't wait to tell you about it. And I couldn't believe, I was like, and I'm about to interview her. I remember this. I remember the mission.
Yeah.
You know? And that's also a fun play on words there because there's quite the mission, right, that you've undertaken to help everybody out.
We tell everybody in our correspondence, welcome to the rescue team, and we are on a mission. And that is it's so important, the message of that. I tell our families and people that I know that are of affluent status, and they bring their young kids over to serve, to Thanksgiving or to Easter or, serve meals in our dining room. And I make a point to always tell them, this is the best thing that you can do for your kids is to teach them that there is need in the community, number one, and that they can make a difference. One person can make a difference in somebody's life. And sets a great foundation for a kid growing up. And so with that impact that you had, just watching that video, same impact that, young kids can have by coming and serving. If it's not us, Community Food Bank, wherever there's need, get your kids involved in serving those that are less fortunate. It will make them well-balanced human beings as adults.
Yeah, I have an appreciation for what they have because remember, some kids, when they lose a tooth, there is no tooth fairy.
Yeah.
That's something to think about. And again, one of the first lessons I ever learned doing the show was about, we live in a country where it's always talking about, why are we handing things out? They got to pick themselves up by their bootstraps. And how do kids do that when they can't afford shoes? I remember talking to someone about, they don't have shoes at all. And like, that is such a thing you take for granted, having shoes.
Yeah.
And that is why what you're doing is so important. And anyone that's looking for a bit of community in their life, it's right here. Help out. Volunteer. Because you can volunteer all the time at the Gospel Rescue Mission for their Pinnacle holiday events or other things throughout the year. Just go online and go find out. There's a whole page to get all the details and all the information because helping people feels good. It does.
It heals your soul.
Yes, it does.
It's just all of my friends go, oh my gosh, this has gone wrong and this has gone wrong. I always go, you need to go volunteer at a soup kitchen is what you need to do.
Yep.
Because it brings perspective and it brings internal healing. And we always think, oh, we're the one helping out. But in turn, we always get so much more out of it than the individual that we're serving. And it's just good for the soul.
No, it really is. And again, it's just always good to have a call to action for everybody getting involved because the other thing that I know that stops people is they're afraid. Should they be afraid of doing this? Should they be afraid of anybody at the Center of Opportunity?
Absolutely not.
Right.
We're absolute safe environment.
Yeah.
We make it safe. We have men, women, and children there. And it's a safe environment. It's a peaceful environment.
Yeah.
I think that's what people are more blown away with, not just our aesthetics, because we make a beautiful place for people to live, but also just the peace that they feel. I probably get asked about that more than anything. God, it's so calm and peaceful here. Well, thank God, because that allows for healing for people. So I'll do a shameless plug now and go, if you haven't been on a tour of the Center of Opportunity, we invite you, because we can sit here and talk about it all day long. It's a whole different thing to experience it. And like Frank said, thank you, Frank, for you being there and saying that it's nothing like you expect. I want to do a campaign called I Had No Idea, because that's what people walk in and they say. So come and visit us. We'd love to show you what we're doing there and how you can get involved.
Amazing. And that's what I always say. I like that call to action, and Lisa gave us the best one ever. It's not just do it, it's do something. Do something.
Do something.
It's my favorite thing you've ever said. One last thing. Is there another fun event happening for the holidays where you get to decorate the whole thing? Are we having the decorating party?
Yes, yeah. So we have an enormous, hotel lobby that we make a winter wonderland. So we're calling on volunteers to come help us decorate. That happens right after the Thanksgiving blessings to go. We'll go right into decorating mode. So if you love Christmas decorations like I do, and you want to help, your house is probably already decorated. So come and help us with your expertise.
And don't forget, if you can't donate your time, donate some money. There's always that. You can use your tax credit. We always talk about how you can do that. Is there a Giving Tuesday coming up anytime soon?
Oh my gosh, Giving
Probably.
Tuesday. Why is it in the middle of all the holidays? So Giving Tuesday, I think it's December 3rd. Is that the Tuesday? So is a national call for people to give to their favorite charity. So we would hope that you would find Gospel Rescue Mission worthy of your donation. So check that out. You can go to givingtuesday.org and check out all the details, and definitely check us out at grmtucson.com. And we would love your support on Giving Tuesday.
There you go. There's another list of resources if you want to donate some items as well. Help everybody out, because that's what we're all about. We're here helping people, talking all about it, shedding even some tears of joy. Me and you together, getting together. I brought Lisa flowers today because I love her so much.
It's amazing.
She's such a great person.
You're a beautiful person, Frank Powers.
Stop it. Because today we made friends with Lisa Chastain, CEO of Gospel Rescue Mission, helping save lives every day with love, grace, dignity, and respect. Thank you so much for joining me today, Lisa.
Thank you, Frank. It's always a pleasure.
This was Lifestyle Tucson. Bing, bong, bing. Time for a recap. Oh, can you tell how much I enjoy my conversations with Lisa Chastain of the Gospel Rescue Mission? Boy, what a good time. I remember meeting her for the very first time as we discussed. A little trepidatious about the topic of religion, making sure that this isn't something that's fanatical or tyrannical, as sometimes some people can make religion seem. But that is not what is going on there, and that's what I love that we've tackled. And Lisa thanked me for broaching this topic, because you heard how almost uncomfortable I was doing it. And she says, I always have to explain this, because a lot of people have preconceived notions. Another fact that Lisa made me aware of is that they're privately funded at the Gospel Rescue Mission. They're not taking your tax dollars, again, and not a reason to be mad and throwing your fist in the air, getting all angry at an organization just trying to help people. Again, I might have said earlier, yes, I went to Catholic school. I'm not the most religious guy. I don't want you to think you're listening to Christian radio. That exists. They have that. There's plenty of Christian radio out there for this. But I'm just a regular Joe, and talking about how some of my friends and some of my favorite professional wrestlers later on in life, as they get families and as they find community, they find it in religion. Not that they're going anywhere crazy with religious beliefs or being a zealot or doing anything violent in the name of religion or forsaking other religions just to, boost up their own. No, that's not what religion in America is. Religion in America is, oh, are you a Methodist? Okay, congratulations. Oh, and you're a different sort of Methodist. Oh, really? Oh, and then you went to a big Methodist conference, and then a different version of Methodist decided to split off to a different version of that too, because that's what religious freedom is. that's an important part of what a community is. So I want you to keep that in mind. And again, sometimes I get a little too ranty, and I apologize for sounding like this sometimes. But all I'm ever really trying to do is get people a little more inspired, feel this big Care Bear stare that I have in my heart, that I burst out into Tucson, and try to get people to volunteer and actually join organizations. And something that she said that was really ringing true is, hey, bring your kids to volunteer, because nothing is going to teach them a lesson like actually seeing, because seeing is believing. So tell your kids that we're going to go volunteer. Tell your husband, hey, I'm dragging you out of the house. Tell your wife, let's go, put down the apps. Tell someone that's holding you back that we got to move forward together, and drag them along, because I know that sometimes doing things is tough, and I'm a little codependent myself. So I just need a buddy or a friend, and then the two of us can get the job done. And maybe getting that job done is at the Gospel Rescue Mission, because you can go get involved, volunteer for all their big events. The big Christmas event they're doing after Thanksgiving. It's going to be in early December, but let's talk about Thanksgiving blessings to go and Thanksgiving blessings this Wednesday from 11 to 2 p.m. Get on down there and say hi. If you're a family in need, or if you know someone in need, why don't you help them out, take a trip for them, and get them something down at the Gospel Rescue Mission Center of Opportunity, 4550 South Palo Verde Road in Tucson, Arizona at 85714. You can follow them over on all the apps at GRM Tucson. You can go to their website at grmtucson.com. I want to thank our old friends at Gospel Rescue Mission for joining me today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. If you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program, or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Audible, or wherever fine podcasts are thankful. Follow on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Lifestyle Tucson, because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers. Toot toot Tucson. I love you the most. Happy Franksgiving.